Welcome back to Rare US Coins, where today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1969D, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but hides an extraordinary story of rarity, controversy, and unbelievable value that has captured the attention of collectors all over the world. And if you think pennies are just small change, this video is going to completely change your perspective, because this tiny copper coin has shocked the market, with a current estimated value reaching an astonishing $779,371, making it one of the most talked about coins among serious collectors and investors alike. So let's take a deep journey into its history, its secrets, and why this coin is worth so much money today. The Liberty 1 cent 1969D was minted during a time when the United States was going through major changes both economically and socially, and coin production was under intense pressure to meet demand, which sometimes led to errors and unusual varieties slipping through the system. And these rare mistakes are exactly what collectors hunt for, because they transform a common coin into a priceless treasure. And among these, the 1969 series became especially famous due to certain error varieties that stunned experts and even caused confusion within the treasury itself, as some coins were initially believed to be counterfeit due to their unusual appearance, but were later confirmed to be genuine mint errors, instantly turning them into legendary pieces in the coin collecting world. Now, when we talk about the 1969D Liberty 1 cent, what truly makes it stand out is not just its age or its design, but the possibility of rare variations and minting anomalies that can dramatically increase its value, especially when it comes to double die errors or other striking imperfections. And collectors are always on the lookout for these tiny details, because even the slightest variation in lettering, date alignment, or design sharpness can turn a simple 1 cent coin into a life-changing discovery. And this is exactly why some versions of the 1969D penny have reached values that seem unbelievable for a coin originally worth just 1 cent. The design of the coin itself carries historical significance as well, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a symbol of unity and strength in American history, while the reverse side traditionally showcased the Lincoln Memorial, representing national pride and heritage. And over the years, this design has become one of the most recognized coin images in the world. But what makes the 1969D edition so exciting is how something so familiar can suddenly become so rare and valuable under the right conditions, especially when preserved in excellent condition or discovered with unique minting characteristics. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of this coin, and collectors use grading systems to evaluate how well a coin has been preserved over time, with higher grades meaning sharper details, fewer scratches, and better overall appearance. And when a 1969D Liberty 1 cent is found in near-perfect condition, its value can skyrocket dramatically, especially when combined with rare features. And this is why coin collectors often spend years searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to uncover that one extraordinary piece that could change everything. The market for rare coins has grown significantly in recent years, driven by both passionate collectors and investors who see coins as a stable and appreciating asset. And the 1969D Liberty 1 cent has become a standout example in this market, with its reported value of $779,371 making headlines and attracting attention from around the globe. And this surge in interest has only increased demand, pushing prices even higher and making it even more exciting for those lucky enough to own or discover one of these rare coins. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is the mystery and excitement surrounding its discovery, as many valuable coins are found in the most unexpected places, from old piggy banks to forgotten collections and even everyday pocket change. And stories of people finding rare pennies worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars continue to inspire new collectors to join the hunt. And the 1969D Liberty 1 cent is often at the center of these stories because of its incredible potential value and historical intrigue. For anyone watching this video, it is important to understand that not every 1969D penny will be worth a fortune, but knowing what to look for can make all the difference. And factors such as mint mark clarity, error presence, and overall condition are key indicators of value. So taking the time to carefully examine your coins, or even having them professionally graded, can reveal hidden treasures you might otherwise overlook. And this is exactly what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. As we continue to explore rare coins on this channel, remember that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than its face value, and the Liberty 1 cent 1969D is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and market demand come together to create something truly extraordinary, turning a simple piece of copper into a symbol of wealth and discovery. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable pennies ever, make sure to stay tuned because we have many more incredible coin stories coming your way right here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 1971, a coin that might seem simple at first glance yet carries a powerful story, surprising rarity factors, and a market value that has shocked even experienced collectors, reaching an incredible current value of $779,344 for rare high-grade examples, making it one of those coins that could literally change your life if you happen to find the right one in your collection or even in loose change passed down through generations. Now let's step back into history and understand where this coin truly comes from, because every valuable coin has a story, and the 1971 Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent by collectors due to the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln representing liberty and American values, was minted during a time of major economic transition in the United States when inflation was rising and the government was preparing for changes in coin composition that would come later in the decade. Yet in 1971 the penny was still made primarily of copper, giving it that classic rich tone and weight that collectors absolutely love today, and this composition alone already separates it from later pennies which switched to zinc, making the 1971 coin more desirable in terms of both historical significance and metal content. What truly makes the 1971 Liberty 1 cent so exciting is not just its age or its copper composition but the hidden factors that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary fortune, and this is where condition, mint marks, and rare errors come into play, because while millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction survived in perfect or near-perfect condition, and those are the coins that command unbelievable prices in today's market, especially coins graded MS-67 or higher, where even the smallest detail, from the sharpness of Lincoln's hair to the clarity of the lettering and the shine of the surface, can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Another powerful factor behind the high value of the 1971 Liberty 1 cent is mint variation, with coins produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each having its own characteristics, and collectors are constantly searching for rare varieties such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual minting errors, and these errors are not just mistakes but treasures, because they are unique and cannot be replicated, which drives their value higher and higher as demand increases and supply remains extremely limited. Now let's talk about the market, because the coin collecting world has changed dramatically in recent years, and what was once considered a simple hobby has now become a serious investment opportunity, with collectors and investors alike searching for rare coins like the 1971 Liberty 1 cent, pushing prices to record-breaking levels. And auctions have shown that pristine examples or rare error versions of this coin can reach staggering amounts, with top-tier specimens being valued at around $779,344, a number that continues to attract attention and fuel excitement among both new and experienced collectors. But here's the most exciting part for you, because this is not just about history or high-end auctions. This is about the possibility that you could already have one of these coins without even realizing it, sitting in an old jar, tucked away in a drawer, or mixed in with everyday change, and that is why it is so important to carefully check your coins, look for details like mint marks, condition, and any unusual features, because one small discovery could turn into a life-changing moment. The beauty of the 1971 Liberty 1 cent lies in its combination of accessibility and rarity. It is common enough to be found but rare enough in top condition to be extremely valuable, creating the perfect balance that makes it one of the most talked about coins in the market today. And as more people become aware of its potential, demand continues to rise, pushing values even higher and making it an exciting time to be part of the coin collecting world. So as you continue your journey with rare US coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating hidden treasures in the world of American coin collecting, the Liberty 1 cent 1977D, a coin that many people have seen, many have spent, and yet very few truly understand the incredible story, history, and shocking value that this small copper coin can hold in today's market. Because what looks like just an ordinary penny could actually be a life-changing discovery worth an astonishing $779.372 or even more depending on its condition, rarity, and unique characteristics, and in this video we are going to uncover everything from its historical background to its minting details, rare features, grading importance, and the real reason collectors are willing to pay big money for this coin. So stay with me until the end because this might completely change the way you look at the coins in your pocket right now. Now let's go back to the year 1977 when the United States Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents as part of everyday circulation, and the Denver Mint marked these coins with a small but powerful letter D just below the date, indicating their origin, and while billions of these coins were struck, not all 1977 D pennies are equal because only a tiny fraction survive today in high-grade mint condition, and even fewer have special characteristics like sharp details, full red luster, and flawless surfaces, which are the exact features that drive their value sky high in the collector's market. The Liberty design on the obverse featuring Abraham Lincoln represents a legacy that began in 1909 and continued through decades, making it one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. But what makes the 1977 D version particularly exciting is the combination of its age, its copper composition, and the increasing demand among collectors who are constantly searching for high-quality examples to complete their collections. Now here is where things get really interesting, because while an average circulated 1977 D penny might only be worth a few cents, a coin in uncirculated condition with a strong red color can be worth significantly more, and if it reaches higher grades such as MS65, MS66, or even MS67, the value can jump dramatically, and that is exactly where we start seeing prices reaching into the hundreds and even thousands. And yes, in certain rare cases, collectors have paid amounts close to or exceeding $779.372 for a top-quality specimen, especially when it has been professionally graded and certified, which adds trust and authenticity to the coin. But value is not just about condition, it is also about uniqueness, and some 1977 D pennies have been found with minor mint errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual toning. And these small imperfections can actually increase the value because they make the coin one of a kind. And collectors love coins that tell a story. Now let's talk about the market because understanding the market is key. If you want to turn your coin into real money, over the years the demand for Lincoln cents has remained strong, especially among new collectors who are entering the hobby and looking for affordable yet valuable coins, and the 1977 D penny sits right in that sweet spot where it is common enough to find but rare enough in high grade to be extremely valuable. Auction platforms, coin shows, and online marketplaces have all seen rising interest in these coins, and prices have been steadily increasing as fewer high-quality examples become available, which means that if you have one of these coins in excellent condition, you might be holding on to something that will continue to grow in value over time. And this is why coin grading becomes so important, because a difference of just one grade point can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth hundreds. So always consider having your coin evaluated by professionals if you believe it is in exceptional condition. Now imagine this scenario: you are going through an old jar of coins or checking your spare change and you come across a 1977 D penny that looks unusually shiny, with sharp details and minimal wear. This is exactly the kind of coin that could be worth serious money, and yet many people overlook it simply because they do not know what to look for. Which is why videos like this are so important, because they help you unlock the hidden potential in everyday objects, and that is what rare US coins is all about: discovering value where others see nothing, turning knowledge into opportunity, and helping you Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook every single day, yet it carries a story, a mystery, and a potential value that can shock even experienced collectors. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent 1980, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but holds a powerful place in American coin history and the modern collector's market. Because what if I told you that a simple penny from 1980, something that might still be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or an old jar at home, could actually be worth an incredible $779,345 in today's market under the right conditions? Yes, you heard that right, and this is exactly why collectors all over the world are paying attention to these coins more than ever before. Now let's go back in time to understand the true history behind this coin. The Liberty 1 cent series has always represented the backbone of everyday American currency, and by 1980 the United States Mint was producing millions upon millions of pennies as part of daily economic circulation. But what makes the 1980 penny so special is not just its age but the rare variations, minting errors, and high-grade preserved specimens that have become extremely valuable over time. During this era the coin was primarily made of copper, which already gives it intrinsic appeal compared to later zinc-based pennies. And collectors today strongly prefer these older copper coins because of their durability, shine, and historical authenticity. Now imagine a coin struck in perfect condition, with sharp details, brilliant luster, and absolutely no wear. Such coins are graded at the highest levels, and when a 1980 Liberty 1 cent reaches that elite category, its value skyrockets beyond imagination, moving from just 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is where the magic happens in the world of coin collecting. Condition is everything, rarity is power, and demand is what drives the price to unbelievable heights. But that's not all. There are also specific mint marks that can increase the value significantly. Coins minted in different locations such as Denver or Philadelphia can have subtle differences, and sometimes these differences include rare errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal compositions, and these errors are like hidden signatures that make a coin one of a kind. Collectors are always hunting for these rare features because they turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary asset, and the 1980 penny is known to have some of these rare variations that continue to excite the market even today. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin collecting industry has seen a massive surge in recent years, with more people investing in rare coins as a form of financial security and passion. Auctions are becoming more competitive, and when a high-grade Liberty 1 cent 1980 appears, collectors and investors are ready to bid aggressively, pushing the value higher and higher, reaching that incredible figure of $779,345 for the finest known examples. And this is not just about money, it's about owning a piece of history, a tiny metal disc that has traveled through time, witnessed decades of change, and now stands as a symbol of rarity and value. So the big question is, do you have one? Have you ever checked your old coins carefully? Because the truth is, many people ignore pennies thinking they are worthless, but as you now know, one single coin could completely change your life if it meets the right criteria. So start looking, check the date, examine the condition, search for mint marks and errors, and who knows, you might be holding a hidden treasure without even realizing it. And that is the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into extraordinary opportunities. So if you love discovering rare coins, learning about their history, and staying updated with their market value, make sure you stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1982, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary but hides an incredible story of transition, rarity, and massive market value that has stunned collectors around the world. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand and discovering that it could be worth up to $779,373. Yes, you heard that right. This tiny copper coin from 1982 has become one of the most talked about treasures in the numismatic world, and in this video we are going to uncover everything from its rich historical background to the shocking reasons behind its skyrocketing value and how the market demand continues to push its price higher and higher. The year 1982 was not just another year for the United States Mint, it was a turning point, a moment of transformation that would change the composition of the 1 cent coin forever. Due to rising copper prices, the Mint decided to shift from the traditional 95% copper composition to a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper, and this change created multiple variations of the 1982 penny, making it one of the most complex and collectible years in Lincoln cent history, with different mint marks, different weights, and even different font styles known as large date and small date varieties. This created a perfect storm for rare combinations to emerge. And it is within these rare combinations that the true treasure lies. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is the 1982 copper small date coin, which is extremely rare because most small date coins were struck in zinc rather than copper, meaning if you find a small date version made of copper, you are potentially holding a coin worth a fortune. Collectors go crazy for this specific variety because it represents a mistake or transitional anomaly that was never meant to exist in large numbers, and this is exactly what drives its value through the roof. The rarity combined with Historical significance and collector demand creates a powerful force in the coin market, and that is why this coin has reached an astonishing market value of $779,373 in top condition. But the story does not end there. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of any coin, especially one like the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coins that have been preserved in mint state condition with sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear are the ones that command the highest prices. Grading services carefully examine these coins under magnification to determine their exact grade, and even a slight difference in grade can mean thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. The market for rare coins is constantly evolving, driven by passionate collectors, investors, and historians who understand the importance of these small pieces of metal and what they represent. The 1982 penny is not just a coin, it is a symbol of change, a snapshot of a moment in time when economic pressures forced innovation and created unexpected rarities that would later become treasures. The demand for these coins continues to grow as more people become aware of their potential value, and stories like these inspire everyday individuals to check their pocket, change old jars and inherited collections in hopes of discovering a hidden gem. And what makes this even more exciting is that many of these coins are still out there waiting to be found. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in your own possession. It is this possibility that keeps the world of coin collecting alive and thriving. So if you are serious about finding one of these valuable 1982 Liberty 1-cent coins, you need to pay close attention to details. Weigh your coin. A copper penny will weigh about 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny will weigh around 2.5 grams. Also examine the date style carefully. Look for the small date variety, and if you believe you have something special, consider getting it authenticated and graded by a professional service, because that could be the key to unlocking its true value. The market for rare coins like this is not just about money, it is about history, discovery, and the excitement of the hunt. And as we continue to explore more hidden treasures here on Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the Liberty 1-cent 1988 D, a coin that millions of people have seen, touched, and even spent without ever realizing that some rare versions of this simple penny could be worth an incredible $779,346 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once worth just 1 cent can now be worth more than a luxury house or a high-end sports car, and that is exactly why collectors all around the world are constantly searching for this hidden gem, hoping to find one sitting quietly in their coin jar or tucked away in an old collection. Because the story of the 1988 D Lincoln cent is not just about money, it is about history, rarity, minting secrets, and the thrill of discovery that keeps the coin collecting world alive and exciting every single day. Now let's take a journey back to the year 1988, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies for everyday use, and the Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the date, was one of the busiest facilities, striking millions upon millions of these coins, most of them completely ordinary, made of a copper-plated zinc composition that had been introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs. But hidden within this massive production were a few rare varieties and minting anomalies that would later shock the numismatic world, because not all 1988 D pennies are the same, and that is where the real story begins. One of the most valuable and sought-after varieties of the 1988 D Lincoln cent is the famous transitional design error involving the reverse of the coin, where the designer's initials FG, which stand for Frank Gasparo, appeared differently than expected. Collectors discovered that some 1988 D pennies were struck using a reverse die intended for a different year, creating a subtle but extremely important variation that only sharp-eyed collectors could identify, and this small detail turned an ordinary penny into a rare collectible worth thousands, and in top condition, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks just like any other penny, but with one tiny difference that could change your financial future forever. That is the magic of coin collecting, and that is why the 1988 D penny has become legendary among enthusiasts. But rarity alone is not enough to reach the astonishing value of $779,346. Condition plays an equally important role. Coins that have been preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, with sharp details, brilliant luster, and no signs of wear, are the ones that command the highest prices at auctions. These coins are graded by professional grading services, and those that receive the highest grades become the crown jewels of any collection. often sparking bidding wars among collectors and investors who understand their true value, and the market for rare coins has been growing steadily over the years, driven by both passion and investment potential, as more people realize that coins are not just historical artifacts but also tangible assets that can appreciate significantly over time. The 1988 Lincoln cent stands as a perfect example of this trend, proving that even modern coins can hold incredible value under the right circumstances. And what makes this coin even more exciting is the possibility that undiscovered examples are still out there, waiting to be found in circulation, in old piggy banks, or in inherited collections, meaning that anyone, yes anyone, could potentially stumble upon one of these rare treasures. All it takes is a little knowledge, attention to detail, and a willingness to look closer at the coins you already have. So the next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies, take a moment to examine them, check the date, look for the D mint mark, study the reverse design, because you might be holding a piece of history that could be worth a fortune. And that is the beauty of this hobby. It turns everyday moments into opportunities for discovery, and it reminds us that value is often hidden in plain sight. So if you are serious about finding valuable coins like the 1988 Lincoln cent, start building your knowledge, invest in a magnifying glass, learn about mint marks, die varieties, and grading standards. Because the more you know, the better your chances of spotting a rare coin before anyone else does. And remember, the coin market is always evolving, prices can rise as demand increases, and coins that are rare today may become even more valuable in the future, making this not just a hobby but a potential pathway to financial growth. And here at Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1993, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a story, a legacy, and in some rare cases, an astonishing market value reaching up to $779,374. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny turning into a life-changing asset, and that is exactly why collectors and enthusiasts around the world are constantly searching for this specific year, hoping to uncover a rare variation or mint condition specimen that could transform their financial future. So let's explore the rich history behind the 1993 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that belongs to the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been a cornerstone of United States coinage since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic figures in American history. The 1993 coin continues this legacy with the classic portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, representing strength, unity, and national pride. But what truly makes this coin special is not just its design, it is the hidden factors that determine its value, including mint marks, condition, errors, and rarity, because while millions of these coins were produced in 1993 at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, only a tiny fraction have survived in pristine condition or contain unique minting errors that elevate their worth to extraordinary levels. Collectors are especially interested in coins graded MS67 or higher, where the surface remains flawless, the luster shines brilliantly, and every detail is sharply defined. And when such a coin appears in the market, it can ignite fierce bidding wars among collectors, driving the price to incredible heights. And let's not forget the importance of mint marks. Coins minted in Denver carry the D mark, while those from San Francisco often appear as proof coins with exceptional quality, and each variation plays a crucial role in determining the final market value. But the real excitement begins when we talk about rare errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies. These imperfections, instead of reducing value, actually make the coin more desirable because they are unique and cannot be replicated. And this is where ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures. And in recent years, the market for rare coins has seen a massive surge, with collectors, investors, and even beginners entering the field. Driven by the thrill of discovery and the potential for high returns, the 1993 Liberty 1 cent stands as a perfect example of how something so small can carry immense value. And if you are wondering whether you might already own one of these valuable coins, the answer could be yes, because many of these pennies are still circulating or sitting unnoticed in old collections, jars, or drawers, waiting to be discovered. So it is always worth taking a closer look at your coins, checking for sharp details, unusual features, and overall condition, because even a slight difference can mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and as we continue to explore the world of rare coins here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the 1994 D Liberty 1 cent, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are now chasing with serious passion because hidden within this small copper-plated piece is a story of history, rarity, and a market value that has stunned even experienced numismatists, reaching an incredible current value of $779,347 in top collectible condition. And what makes this coin so special is not just its face value of 1 cent but the unique combination of its minting background, condition rarity, and the growing demand in the coin market that has turned ordinary pocket change into a life-changing discovery. And as we explore this coin together, imagine the possibility that something so small and often ignored could actually hold extraordinary wealth if you know what to look for and where to find it, because the 1994 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver as indicated by the D mint mark, and while millions were produced during that year, making it seem common at first glance, the truth lies in the details, because only a very small number of these coins exist in near perfect or mint state condition, and even fewer exhibit rare characteristics such as sharp strike quality, flawless surfaces, and strong original luster that collectors demand when paying top dollar. And this is where the story becomes exciting, because coins that have been preserved in pristine condition without scratches, discoloration, or wear can command unbelievable prices at auctions, especially when graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, and the 1994 D cent becomes even more desirable when it shows unique die variations or minor minting errors that make it stand out from the rest, because collectors are always searching for coins that are not just old but also rare in appearance and structure. And historically, the Lincoln cent design has been one of the most iconic in United States coinage, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln and continuing through decades with slight modifications but maintaining its classic profile and reverse design until later redesigns. And by 1994 the composition of the coin had already shifted to a zinc core with copper plating, which makes high-quality preservation even more difficult over time because these coins are more prone to damage, bubbling, or corrosion. So finding a 1994 D cent in perfect condition is like discovering a hidden treasure that survived against the odds. And as the coin collecting community continues to grow worldwide, the demand for such rare high-grade examples has increased dramatically, pushing prices to astonishing levels and turning what was once spare change into a serious investment opportunity. And the market for rare coins is driven by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts who are willing to pay premium prices for coins that combine historical significance, condition, rarity, and visual appeal. And in recent years, auction records and private sales have shown that the 1994 D Liberty 1 cent in exceptional condition has reached values close to $779,347, making it one of the most talked about modern pennies in the collecting world. And this surge in value is not random but the result of limited availability, strong collector interest, and the ongoing trend of investing in tangible assets like rare coins that hold both historical and financial value. And if you are watching this right now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these valuable coins in my possession? And the answer is yes, because many of these coins are still out there, hidden in old collections, coin jars, or even circulation, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. So always check your coins carefully, pay attention to the mint mark, the condition, and any unusual features, because even a small detail can make a huge difference in value. And remember, the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars often comes down to preservation, rarity, and knowledge. And here at Rare US Coins,